Migizi. Part 1. Our plan for exploring the shoreline, as mentioned, kept expanding and expanding. Then came the free tickets to Mackinac Island, and things expanded some more. Another unexpected twist came after school had started back up in the fall, when Dad surprised me and told me we were going to take a trip up to St. Ignace in the Upper Peninsula. After spending a night in Cadillac, Dad and I headed north and visited an imagination station in Kalkaska. This imagination station, which was coated in a thin layer of ice because it had been a chilly night, was very similar to the one we had in Grand Haven near the YMCA. It was awesome! We also discovered another awesome imagination station in South Haven. Our next stop was Wilderness State Park, which is located way up in the northwestern portion of the Lower Peninsula, about 15 miles west of Mackinac City. Our leader on our trip was a stuffed animal, a duck. The duck was placed into a comfy spot at the base of the car's windshield to look for signs of adventure. Dad got the duck, along with the second duck, shortly after we had the experience with the two ducks in Frankfurt. I named them Quacker and Cracker. Dad also got a stuffed butterfly after the experience with Flutter. Dad could not find any stuffed sanderlings, though, but he did find a small pillow with sanderlings on it. Why did the duck get to be in that special place? The reason was that the duck had won a fun competition with the other stuffed animals. The other stuffed animals included Pooh and his friends. Dad liked to travel with the Pooh gang in the car, and so do I, since they have traveled with us on almost all of our adventures over the last few years. The duck won the competition by being the last stuffed animal on my bed at the hotel. How it works is that I lay down on my stomach on the bed, Dad sets the stuffed animals all over me, and then I move my body fast in all directions as I roll around and kick out my feet and throw out my arms. While this is happening, most of the stuffed animals fall off of the bed and onto the floor. That is a blurry Christopher Robin flying through the air and off the bed. The last stuffed animal on the bed won the special space at the front of the car and got to be our leader for the day. And so, with Quacker as our guide, we drove out as far into Wilderness State Park as we could. And then we hiked in the direction of White Shoals, which is the tallest lighthouse on the Great Lakes. This lighthouse, which is 143 feet tall, is located out in the water, and it's basically its own island. It was very difficult to build White Shoals way out there back in 1910. It was a huge accomplishment. If you ever see a Save Our Lights Michigan license plate on someone's car, there's a picture of White Shoals Lighthouse on the license plate. The funny thing was, we didn't know at first that White Shoals Lighthouse was what we were seeing. We were just enjoying Wilderness State Park. Dad thought that the lighthouse was a big boat in the distance. So much for being a lighthouse expert. Lake Michigan Michigan was super calm that day, and Dad skipped a smooth walk over the water 8 times. We found a bunch of beautiful rocks in amazing shapes, colors, and patterns that I had never seen before. We gathered up my favorites and stuffed them into our jacket pockets, which got really heavy so I could add them to my rock collection. From Wilderness State Park, we drove over to Mackinac City, and then we started to cross the Mackinac Bridge. It was so exciting. It was fun to look up at all of the long steel cables and see them extend way up to the top of the bridge. And it was so exciting to be entering into the Upper Peninsula.